All right, time to dive into biochemistry. Getting ready for that big course, huh? We're going to prep you to totally ace it.
Yeah, we're going deep into Chapter 2 of chemistryoflife.pdf.
Think of this as your crash course on what makes life tick.
And we're going beyond just the what.
Okay, so
We're uncovering the why,
I like the sound of that.
finding those aha moments that make biochemistry so fascinating.
Those aha moments are the best. Let's start with the essentials atoms. We know they're tiny, but did you know they're mostly empty space?
It's true. It's mind-blowing, really. If you could magically remove all the empty space from the atoms in your body,
Ugh.
you'd be smaller than a grain of rice.
No way.
Yet you'd weigh the same. It shows you just how unbelievably small the nucleus of an atom is.
So our bodies are basically made of miniature universes.
You got it. Now zoom in further inside those atoms. We've got even tinier particles. Protons, neutrons, and electrons.
Okay, I vaguely remember those from high school.
The number of protons, that's the key. That determines what element an atom is.
Right. Like hydrogen, oxygen.
And here's a cool fact, just 4 elements, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, they make up over 96% of your body.
Wow. So we're basically walking, talking periodic tables.
Yeah.
How do these elements go from individual atoms to, like, the complex stuff that makes up our cells?
That's where chemical bonds come in. Think of atoms like they want a full set of electrons, like a full deck of cards. Sometimes they share electrons to get that full set. That's a covalent bond.
Sharing is caring.
Right. But sometimes one atom hogs the electrons, being greedy.
Some atoms are like that.
That uneven sharing, we call that a polar covalent bond, like in water H2O.
Water's so important.
This polarity is a big deal. It affects how water interacts with everything else. It's fundamental to how life works.
Okay, so that's sharing electrons. What about ionic bonds? Those are different, right?
Totally different. In ionic bonds, one atom completely steals an electron from another.
Whoa, talk about greedy.
It's a total electron heist. This creates ions, basically, atoms with an electrical charge. And you know what they say? Opposites attract. That's what forms the ionic bond.
Like magnets.
Exactly. Think about table salt, sodium chloride. Sodium loses an electron, becomes positive. Chlorine gains it, becomes negative. Bam, ionic bond.
And when salt dissolves in water, those ions separate.
Yep. They get surrounded by water molecules. Super important for all sorts of things. Nerve impulses, muscle contractions, you name it.
Those tiny charges doing big things. Speaking of charges, where does pH fit into all of this?
pH. It's all about balance. Specifically, the balance of hydrogen ions in a solution.
Okay, break that down for me. What's the pH scale all about?
It's like a measuring stick for how acidic or basic something is.
Acidic, basic. Got it.
With 7 being neutral, like pure water.
Water, the neutral zone.
The thing is, the pH scale isn't linear, it's logarithmic.
Logarithmic, like a fancy math word.
Basically, every step on the scale means a 10-fold change in acidity.
So something with a pH of 2 is way more acidic than something with a pH of 5.
Way more. Think about lemons, pH around 2. Then think about black coffee, pH of about 5.
Okay, so lemons are...
A lemon is 1,000 times more acidic.
Oh, I never thought about it like that. Now, our bodies need a specific pH, right?
Totally. Our blood needs to stay within a very narrow range, around 7.35 to 7.45. Even a small change can cause problems. That's where buffers come in.
Buffers.
They're like the body's chemical peacekeeping force. They prevent big swings in pH, keeping things stable.
Okay, so we've covered atoms, the different ways they bond, and this whole pH balancing act. What's next in our chemistry of life adventure?
Now we're going big picture. Time to explore the major players, the 4 main classes of biological macromolecules. They're found in all living things.
Sounds impressive. What are they?
Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. Think of them as the building blocks of, well, you.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's start with carbohydrates, but they get a bad rap sometimes, right? But they give us energy, don't they?
They're essential. Carbohydrates, they're your main energy source, the fuel that keeps your cells going.
So they're like the gasoline for our bodies.
Exactly. And just like gasoline, you've got different types of carbohydrates.
Oh, okay. Like what?
You've got your simple sugars, like glucose, that's your quick energy burst.
It's a great drink.
Exactly. Then you've got complex carbohydrates like starch, think pasta, bread. They give you that slow-burning energy.
Keeps you going.
Yeah.
So our body breaks down these carbs into glucose, and then our cells use that for energy. What happens when we have extra glucose? Like more than we need at that moment?
Our bodies are smart. They store that extra glucose as glycogen, mostly in your liver and muscles.
Like a backup energy stash. I like it. Okay, that's carbs. What about proteins? They're the building blocks, right?
That's a great way to put it. Proteins, they're the workhorses. They build and repair tissues, they transport molecules, they're involved in basically everything.
Oh.
And just like carbs are made of sugars, proteins are made of smaller units called amino acids.
So it's like Legos again.
Exactly.
Amino acids are the building blocks, and then proteins are the awesome stuff you build with them.
You got it. And there are 20 different amino acids, each with its own unique properties.
Oh, wow.
These amino acids link up in specific ways, told what to do by our DNA. They form these long chains that fold into really complex 3D shapes.
So intricate. How do they know how to fold like that?
Million-dollar question. Scientists have been trying to figure that out for ages. It all depends on that sequence of amino acids.
So, like, if a protein doesn't fold the right way, it can't do its job.
Exactly. And that's when you get problems. Misfolded proteins can cause all sorts of diseases, from Alzheimer's to cystic fibrosis.
That's scary. Yeah. Speaking of proteins, I've always wondered about enzymes. What makes them different from other proteins?
Enzymes, they're like the cool kids in the protein world. They're catalysts.
Catalysts.
They make chemical reactions happen way faster, but don't get used up in the process.
So they're like the speed demons of the cellular world.
That's a great way to put it. Enzymes are crucial. Without them, everything would happen way too slow. We couldn't digest food, our muscles wouldn't work. Heck, we couldn't even think.
Wow, enzymes are amazing. Okay, we've got carbs for energy, proteins for building, and doing pretty much everything else. What about lipids? They get a bad rap, don't they?
They do, but we need them. Lipids are a diverse group, but they all have one thing in common.
What's that?
They don't like water, like at all.
They're hydrophobic.
Yep. Think oil and water, they just don't mix.
Right, right. So where do lipids hang out in our bodies if we're mostly water?
That's where their unique properties come in handy. They're great for things like cell membranes, insulation. They're even involved in making hormones. And of course, long-term energy storage.
That's where fat comes in.
Exactly. And then there's cholesterol.
Cholesterol is a lipid.
It is. People think it's all bad, but we need some cholesterol.
It's about balance again.
Exactly. It's part of our cell membranes, and it's important for making hormones like estrogen and testosterone.
Everything in moderation. Okay, we've covered carbs, proteins, lipids. What about the last member of this macromolecule group?
Nucleic acids, the information superhighway of the cell.
Nucleic acids. Remind me what those are again?
They're the molecules that handle genetic information. The big ones are DNA. You've definitely heard of DNA.
DNA, yeah. It's like the blueprint of life.
And RNA.
Oh, right, RNA.
DNA has the instructions to build and run an organism. RNA takes that information from DNA and uses it to make proteins.
So DNA is like the master plan, and then RNA puts those plans into action.
Love the analogy.
This is all so cool. We've talked about the building blocks of life, from tiny atoms to these complex macromolecules. But how do these molecules move around inside us? It's not like they're tiny little cars or something, right?
They're not quite. They mostly move by two main processes, diffusion and osmosis. Let's start with diffusion. Imagine you're baking cookies and you accidentally burn one.
Oh, no, the smell.
Exactly. Those burnt cookie molecules, they
Yes.
spread out, right? That's diffusion.
That makes sense.
Molecules move from where they're crowded to where there's more space until they're spread out evenly.
So that's diffusion. What about osmosis? How's it different?
Osmosis is a special type of diffusion. It's just about water moving across a membrane. And not just any membrane, a semi-permeable one.
Semi-permeable, that's a mouthful.
Basically, it's a membrane that acts like a gatekeeper. Some molecules can pass through, others can't.
Okay, so water can pass through this membrane, but other stuff might not. Why does it do that? What's the point?
Water always wants to even things out. It moves from an area where there's a lot of water and not much else to an area where there's less water and more stuff dissolved in it.
To balance things out again.
You got it. And this water movement, it's super important for our cells. It keeps them from shriveling up or bursting.
So it's all about finding that equilibrium. Okay, so diffusion is molecules moving from crowded to less crowded, and osmosis is water moving to balance things out. It seems like our bodies are obsessed with this balancing act.
Exactly. And that brings us to one of the most fundamental concepts in biology, homeostasis.
Homeostasis. Sounds intense. Homeostasis, it sounds like some kind of advanced yoga pose.
Well, it's about balance, that's for sure,
Sure.
but not the yoga kind. It's how our bodies stay stable on the inside, even when things are changing like crazy on the outside.
So it's like our body is constantly making these tiny adjustments to keep everything running.
Exactly, like a thermostat. When your room gets cold,
The thermostat kicks in.
right, it senses the change and heats things up until it's back to the temperature you set. Our bodies do the same thing, but with way more than just temperature, pH, blood sugar, all sorts of things.
Wow, so our bodies have like a million tiny thermostats going at the same time.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just keeping each thing steady on its own, it's keeping them all balanced with each other.
That's a lot of balancing.
It's a dynamic equilibrium, constantly shifting and adjusting. It's how we function.
Our bodies are amazing. This whole deep dive has been about giving you the knowledge to rock that biochemistry class you're about to take. So, what are the biggest things you should remember as you're learning more?
I'd say the biggest takeaway is that biology is all connected. From the smallest atom to the biggest organ systems, it all comes back to chemistry.
We're all just a bunch of chemical reactions walking around.
Pretty much. We've seen how atoms bond to form molecules, how amazing water is, and how essential carbs, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids are for life.
We even talked about how those molecules move around inside us with diffusion and osmosis.
Always searching for that equilibrium.
And of course, how our bodies keep everything in balance through homeostasis.
A lot of big words.
But they explain some seriously cool stuff.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Totally. We hope this deep dive gave you a good foundation in the chemistry of life and got you even more excited to learn more.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up, here's a final thought. We've seen how important this intricate dance of molecules is. But what happens when something goes wrong in that dance?
Like when a move goes bad.
Exactly. How do these disruptions in our bodies lead to diseases?
That's something to think about.
Keep those brains buzzing.
That's all the time we have for today.